address. One is on the legislative regulatory side. We have a government that's not really looking out for our best interests anymore. How can we, in fact, we have banks that ignored their own financial risk criteria long established decades ago, just like they did before the Depression. So they ignored their own rules to make a little bit more money. So the executives get a little bit more profit growth so they can cash out their stock options and then fire the employees saying that the market's gone bad. Well, we can increase regulation of these financial services companies. And I even agree with the incumbent that we need to have FHA limits that are based on the cost of living, because the cost of living in Maryland and Prince George's County is a lot higher than the cost of living in Kentucky. We need to reflect that. But there's another side to this equation besides the crimes committed, because there have been crimes committed, and they've been targeting African Americans and Latinos and low-income people and the elderly. But there's another side to this. This is where you need to start electing congressmen who are more than leaders on Capitol Hill, and they become leaders in your community. We have a problem. People perish for a lack of what? Knowledge. We have children who think money grows on trees. You know how many high schoolers think they're going to make $100,000 a year? 70%. Well, the statistics say 2%. One thing I would do that I can do within my power, no matter what happens in Congress, is we can come down and start teaching our children financial literacy. And to be honest, we need to teach some of their parents financial literacy. Some people are in this mess because they want something they can't afford. We are the wealthiest black majority county in the country. We have one of the worst school systems. And it's starting to show. We have people who want a house so bad that they will sign anything anyone will put in front of them. We need to make sure our children don't repeat that mistake. And we can do it through our churches. We can do it through the collective banking group. I can do it through my church, Rainbow Family Christian Center. We can take it out and teach our children. So no matter what the government does, no matter who's in power, we won't make these same bad decisions again. Thank you. I would like to tell you that there are many things we can do to improve healthcare access in this country. But to be honest, and I know people don't like honest when it comes out of elected officials because you keep voting for the ones that lie to you. We have people who cannot balance a checkbook. Our Congress, we have $9 trillion in debt. How are they going to run a universal health care system running it on debt? That $150,000 is debt. Borrow from your children and your grandchildren. But we can improve health insurance. I'm going to tell you how the first thing we can do is we need to end these hundreds of billions of dollars in corporate subsidies. We can start with the Farm Bill, and I know that's a very difficult thing to do, and it will take a long time, but it is worth the effort because we do have the money and we do have the capacity. When it comes to Social Security, we don't need senior citizens needing to go bankrupt just so they can be put in a nursing home when it would be far cheaper for our federal government to just give them a home health aid for 3 days a week, the same way that my father continued to work to pay for my grandmother to have someone see her so that she wouldn't have to be in a nursing home so she could be on her own. We can get rid of all this administrative burden. Have you been to different doctors? They all have different forms for the same condition. They all have their own codes. We have so much overhead wasted for people that have their own paperwork. Why are poor people charged 2 to 3 times the rate as people with health insurance? Can we simply outlaw that? It doesn't make sense. If you can't pay, I'm going to charge you 3 times as much for the same thing this guy got because this company negotiated a plan for the same service. We have the Maryland Automobile Insurance Fund. Have any of you heard of MAID? Why can't we have the Maryland Health Insurance Fund, where the state helps negotiate rates for all indigent people until we can find a way to get more money to get universal health care for everyone? And the best way to fund it is to do it the same way we did community development block grants. We do it through the state. And the reason I say we give the money to the states to do it, because if you let the government control it, as soon as we get another crook in there like George Bush, they will find a way to drive that system into the ground. Thank you.